Hey everybody, welcome back. It is 12:28 in the morning. The neighbors are still up. If you can hear that noise, trying to stay quiet enough so it shows up, but it's really faint. But at any rate, if you can hear that noise, it's the neighbors. It's a good thing I'm not working on the weekends right now. So hopefully this doesn't happen also tomorrow night because I do have to get up early on Monday. So we will see. But I'm going to go ahead and rather than try to sleep because I've got to have my bedroom windows open because I don't have air conditioning and it's hot and we are not closing the windows. So, since they're still being noisy, we're going to go ahead and watch another episode of Cecil Hotel. We've found the body. Now we need to get the coroner's report and figure out how and why and who, if we can, on her death and kind of go from there. If you see me eating anything, I've got some watermelon salad, so that's what I'm eating. All right, let's go to it.
Her body becomes a piece of evidence. And I feel bad for saying it that way.
She may have evidence on her.
Softly float down to the floor and then cut an access point into the side of the tank in order to remove her body.
That sounds fair, the least amount of damage to the body that way.
There was no physical evidence found.
I was going to say oil prints would have been baked off or cleaned off by rain, acidic rain. The web sleuths are going to the hotel.
It would make sense that whether she's being pursued by a murderer or whatever was going on with her, she could very well be heading for the roof at that time.
What I'm wondering is if this is being backed up by law enforcement as well.
Maybe that was where she climbed out. If you go
that would have been the 5th floor, not the 14th.
For that last level, because there's nothing to protect you if you're up there.
Okay, I was going to say, is there a latch you go through?
I pushed against it. I didn't hear anything go off.
So is it active or not?
Would anybody hear them?
Does a bear shit in the woods?
La policía checó las puertas. Estaban bien. Sí. Por eso yo no creo de...
I'm glad they checked to see if it was working.
Did she know these people? Maybe they had something to do with Elisa's death.
Are they going to show it?
I feel like you'd have to be on something to ever think it's a good idea to jump into a water tank and take a swim.
So do we have the coroner's report?
It scares me so much that I'm thinking about it. I'm waiting for this to pass.
Unless there's an actual note, they'll only rule it as an accidental drowning.
The storage tank has a small lid that allows for looking inside of it. My understanding is that lid was closed when our officers went up there.
The maintenance man closed it back. Was it closed when he looked?
My instinct was that she was murdered.
What's the coroner's report?
Jack Underweger is actually a convicted killer, a pimp, a rapist.
I was an associate deputy medical examiner at the Los Angeles County Coroner's
Finally.
Office.
And there was no foreign biological material found under her fingernails or within her orifices.
But could the water have washed it away from soaking that long?
Decided that we wouldn't provide a cause of death at that moment and wanted to wait for all the tests to come in.
I was going to say, gotta wait on those blood tests, which can sometimes take 6 months. 4 months. Okay. So, they weren't too backlogged.
A lot of people were wondering why the autopsy report took so long to come out.
It's not unusual.
People started talking about the fact that back when she was missing,
people automatically go to conspiracy.
If you have
drives me nuts.
Murder inspired by a movie, or is it just a crazy coincidence?
Let's hope crazy coincidence.
This outbreak of tuberculosis happened only a matter of days.
Very contagious.
So people are wondering, was she an agent for some government or some terrorist group?
Some people theorize
and that's the kind of stuff that makes me roll my eyes.
I'm as skeptical as they come, and I don't
She's saying
actually
it's bedtime.
believe
There's so many different things that are going on with synchronicities in this story.
Starting to think of Lincoln and Kennedy.
Is the Cecil Hotel.
Because it's what we've come to expect.
Was it the inner corner tank or the outer tank?
Who stumbled on the footage of this musician who called himself Morbid.
I'm here in the Cecil Hotel, downtown LA.
It's on the roof.
Until she's eventually murdered.
Is it a snuff film?
People say that Elizabeth Short supposedly was seen at the Cecil Hotel.
They never did.
Just before her death.
They never did solve her murder either. Never did understand the interest in death metal. I had to rewind just a little bit. My earbuds just died, so sorry about the sound quality for the very end of this, but we're going to go ahead and finish it. And I hear the neighbors are still up. I know it's bedtime. I know. Tell the neighbors to shut up. And apparently it died right at the end because I had heard the last words of the lady and didn't realize that was the very end. And that's exactly when the earbuds cut off. So, got the coroner's report. We still don't have the tox report or anything like that. The web sleuths are doing their thing. I really, really, really hate it when people start getting into conspiracy theory. You know, at least have something tangible for why you're saying this theory or that theory. You know, at least there's something tangible with somebody at the hotel did it. Somebody with authority at the hotel. There's at least some tangible stuff to go along with that. But to then start bringing in the police and bringing in the spiritual world, whether it's good or evil, come on, let's stick to the facts. I think that's about it. It's interesting learning about this bits and bits at a time, but at the same time, they've got too much slowness in between the narratives, or they're harping on something too much. And so this, even though this is only 4 episodes, it's feeling really, really long. So we got one more episode. Thank you for joining me on this one. I'll see you on the next one. Good night.